Hello, everyone. So, how are you doing? And I'm back again. I hope you all missed me because I missed you a lot. मैंने आप लोगों को बहुत सारा miss किया. I had not been well, so Atul sir was taking lectures on behalf of me. But now that I'm back with मेरा थोड़ा उबड़ खाबड़ voice, so I'll expect you to bear with it for some time. I'll get my good voice back soon, hopefully. And we are going to get started with another lecture of ours, which is going to be super interesting, super amazing as always. And we have the same faculty who actually took your like I was mesmerized by the way he took the English lecture yesterday. इतना सारा information इतनी easily आप लोगों को समझाया है सर ने that I was actually sitting there and noting down things. So that is the kind of intellect and knowledge that he shared. So obviously today again we have on board with us Dominic sir, a person who himself has done his MA in English and has immense 20 plus years of experience in teaching itself. So आप लोगों के सारे पेन पॉइंट्स कुछ कुछ बारीकियां जहाँ पे आप लोगों को ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए जहाँ आप लोगों को ज्यादा हेल्प चाहिए उन सारी चीजों के पूरे जिसे कहते हैं ना इन डेप्थ डिटेल रखते हुए सर इज एक्चुअली गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड यू a lot of information again today. Sir actually himself has his own institute in South Gopal in Ahmedabad itself, which is named Eduron. So you can actually connect with Sir over there. Moreover, you can even connect with Sir on Student Ink application itself. I'll quickly give you a demo कि आप सर के साथ स्टूडेंट इंक पे कैसे और कहाँ कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं राइट ताकि हम लोगों को ये पता चले कि हमारे ये जो सारे लेक्चर्स हैं ये हमें कहाँ विजिबल होने वाले हैं है ना so when you'll download the Octopod Student Ink application over here, when you'll open this application, and यहाँ पे ये जो Octoworld वाला section दिख रहा है आप जब आप यहाँ जाएंगे, so we have Circa slider which is running out here. So there are a lot of sliders. Similarly, we have Circa slider also. So currently we have these very people who are watching it, which is going to go a number of folds because we have just started off with the lecture. So आप actually sir से यहाँ connect हो सकते हैं. Similarly, in the field section also, you can actually go connect with him. You can search for sir's information. जब आप ऑक्टोवर्ड सेक्शन पे जाते हैं ना तो आपको यहाँ पे ये सारे इंग्लिश के कोर्सेज भी मिलते सो इन द मीन वाइल एक बार सर आपका लेक्चर ले लें एंड देन वी विल ट्राई टू गेट कनेक्टेड विद सर एंड सी कि अगर हम उनकी साइड से कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन कुछ एक्स्ट्रा पेपर्स या कोर्सेज यहाँ डाल सकते हैं सो वी विल मेक श्योर कि वी गेट ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स एडेड आउट ओवर हियर ऑल्सो तो आप सर का मटेरियल भी यहाँ से एक्सेस कर सकते हैं और अगर आपको और ज़्यादा नॉलेज चाहिए किसी भी टॉपिक के बारे में अभी हम लोग स्पेसिफिकली इंग्लिश और लैंग्वेज की बात कर रहे हैं सो वी हैव अ लैंग्वेज सेक्शन over here जहाँ पे आपको सब फ्री मटेरियल मिलता है अबाउट लैंग्वेजेस so you can actually scroll down understand about different languages similarly we have a spoken English lecture over here जहाँ पे अभी आप जाके ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट इंग्लिश लैंग्वेजेस ये सारे पुरानी क्लासेस ये सारी चीजें एक्सेस कर सकते हैं है ना सो लेट्स मेक श्योर कि हम ये सारी चीजें एक्सेस करें इसका फायदा उठाएं एंड हमारे जितने भी इंटरेस्टिंग लेक्चर्स हो रहे हैं ये सारे लेक्चर्स बिल्कुल मिस ना करें इन द मीनवाइल अगर आप लोगों ने अभी तक अपना लिंक शेयर नहीं करा है सो प्लीज गो अहेड शेयर द लिंक फास्ट बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली वी आर अ कम्युनिटी हम लोग को साथ में पढ़ना है साथ में समझना है ना सो लेट्स शेयर द लिंक विद आवर फ्रेंड्स ब्रिंग देम ऑन बोर्ड सर जो हमारे साथ इतना सब कुछ शेयर करने वाले हैं इतना सारा नॉलेज हमें देने वाले हैं उसका हम भरपूर फायदा उठाएं राइट सो हम ही क्यों हमारे फ्रेंड्स भी because we are a community we are building a beautiful community of education so let's make sure that we share the link and make sure that you download the student ink application because ये सारा material आपको वहीं पे provided है ना amazing work then all of you let's get started and the stage is all yours sir we are more than happy to have you on board with us again and the kind of information knowledge and intellect you share with us is just there's no measure to it.
Thanks a lot, Lakshya, and welcome all of you, those who are present over here, those who are listening to me or kind of attending our class right now. I'm here today with another topic, or rather I would call it to quite two extremes. Yesterday I was with the figures of speech. which is on one side of our language section. And today we are on the other side, where it's almost very beginning or very basics of the language, or rather what we can call of the grammar. Very basic of it, which every student, certain minute things that we need to keep in touch, keep noticed when we are speaking or when you are constructing sentences, based upon some of my experience, in which I see where the students usually go wrong. Not only students, even other persons who are using the language in one way or the other, when in the speech or in writing, etc. I find certain mistakes they do. Let's get into correcting those common mistakes. There are quite a lot, but today I'm going to concentrate more on the verbs. First, we will understand what is verb, why it is so important in the language, in our English language, and how the various forms and aspects of the tense can be used, and thereafter the structure of the tense, how to make correctly an affirmative sentence, negative sentence, how to ask a question correctly. All this we are going to do today. So friends, just follow. I'm going to share this screen for you, and I need permission to share the screen. Thank you. All right. Now, when we speak of verb, what do we primarily mean by this verb? That's the first thing that we have to understand. See, the word verb is coming from verbum, which means the word. It's a Latin word. Verbum, the word, which means verb is the most important word in a sentence. Without verb, you are not going to make any sentence correctly. It is a verb that is going to make the sentence correct. Without verb, you are not going to make any sentence correctly, because verb is the most important word in a sentence. So its use, correct use, when to use, what type of the tense forms that we have to use, all that is very important. Let's go into that one. When we understand the sentence, it will be first having a verb, and before the verb over here there will be the subject. Usually we have the subject and then the verb, then only we have the other words coming. This is not so important. It can be object, it can be a complement, it can be any other word or a group of words, a phrase or a clause used to make a sentence complete. But we are on this word right now. When we speak of this verb, it will be having what you can call helping verb and main verb. Now, helping verbs are those auxiliaries, what do you call helping verbs are those which would be helping the main verb to give the correct meaning according to situations or time of action, according to situation, the correct form of the verb to be used. Here these helping verbs play a very important role. According to this helping verb, the main verb will be formed, in the sense that if we use be, this is a base form of this be, you get different forms like is, am, are, or was, were. These are the common things that we use it. He is. Now, after this is actually showing, denoting condition. After this, if a verb comes over here, it will be always in the base form plus ing of the verb. Like there are certain rules are there which we are going to study today in our class, first of all. And then I'll be going into tense forms. So, second thing to be understood, that means I was trying to explain that main helping verb plays, when we speak of verb, helping verb and main verb together is the verb. main verb is always according to the feature of the helping verb, and there are 24 helping verbs in English. They are divided into two types. They are primary auxiliaries and modals. These primary auxiliaries have got their own individual rule. We call them primary because these primary can be used as one, main verb, second, helping verb. Now, what is main verb? What is helping verb? See, suppose I am making a sentence. Sheetal is a good orator. So we get a sentence like this. Here, this is a verb. You can call it, this is main verb because it is giving complete meaning to the sentence. Here it is not a helping verb. It is used as main verb. But if I say Sheetal is speaking to a large crowd now. Here, I used this ing form. I used this ing form here because this is here. That is, because this is, the helping verb is used, I have used ing of this one here, over here. In case I change this is into, let's say, has, is another helping verb, that is primary auxiliary. Then this speaking, the entire form will be changed into spoken. Or if I say did or does, make it negative, then we'll be using speak only. Like this, depending upon the helping verb over here, the main verb will keep on changing its form. This is one thing we have to be very careful. So for this one, I will require one full lecture. So in short, very quickly, I'm just coming to that one right now. So the important things to be kept in mind, depending upon the helping verb, how the main verb can be shifted. But understand which are the helping verb, the primary auxiliaries. The primary auxiliaries are, I put it one, the be form, that is, am, are, was, or were. Whenever these forms are used with the base form, that's a base form meaning first form of the verb, with the base form, we always use ing. This ing is to be used in active. I'm directly with active voice only. Passive voice rules are different. I'll explain later only. So here, this ing is used because this is, am, are, was working. So these five are one set of primary auxiliaries. The second ones are, and these are used always in continuous tenses. When we do tense, we'll be coming to that. Second one is do. That's a base form. The forms of this do, does, or did. Did is a past tense. Do or did are present. Whenever this do or did, do, does, or did used, they're primarily used to make sentences negative or questions. Okay, to make sentence negative or question, primarily we use do, does, did. Whenever do, does, or did is used, we always use the first form of the verb. Some people use v1, v1, that's our form. We primarily, strictly speaking, technically speaking, base form is a form to be used, is a word to be used. Third, examples will be given. Third, have. Now, these do, does, did we use in simple tenses. When it comes to tense, you'll be understanding. Have is a helping verb. It's a base form. Its forms are has, have, or had. When these are used in perfect tenses, whenever have, has, or had is used, you'll be always using past participle. You'll always be using past participle. So this is one of the first things we need to keep in mind when we use tense. Sorry, when we use verb to make sentence correctly. And in order to understand the use of tense also correctly, the structure of the tense correctly, these three things you should be understanding as far as the primaries are concerned. And then the fourth is the model, that is, whenever a model is used, model verb is used, you will be always using only base form plus base form only. For example, Sheetal can speak very well, swim very well. Okay, so can swim. This can came, which is a model auxiliary. Therefore, swim. You cannot use any other form. Only the first form of the verb with the models can be used. Now, which are the models? Can, could, shall, should, will, would. That is available in any grammar book. But the technicality of it is, whenever models are used, base form will be used. That's the form of the main verb. But primary auxiliaries have got three different auxiliaries are the primary auxiliaries are there. Be form, that is am, are, was, were. Ing of the verb will be used with that one. Do, does, did. Always, primarily they are used in making sentences negative or questions. Base form is used. And have, that's have, has, had, used in perfect tenses. Whenever these come, we have a past participle to be used. This is one basic thing very often I find students don't follow. Not that every student, few of them. Because we don't have to teach those who know it, we need to teach those who do not know it. So this is one basic thing we have to keep in mind, because very often, even in students in higher classes, they are not following this rule, and for that, when we check the papers, we cut the marks. I suppose I'm making things clearer to you. Second thing, to understand verb, first, verb is an action word. Any word denoting an action is a verb. Here, consider these sentences what I am giving as examples of the explanation that I have done, plus one step further, we are going with learning something different. Whenever we try to understand a verb, just try to understand verb as action word. Now, action word meaning first subject will come. After that, here word denoting action will come. Word denoting action. For example, let's say, for example, the students. The students. Here, play. Plus other words. For W here stands for other words. Okay. So football every day. So this is an action they perform. This is an action word. Same thing, the students are playing will come. Are playing. So are came, therefore ing is used. Football every day. Or we say the students have played. Have came, therefore past participle came, plus other words. In this manner, depending upon the helping verb, these are all action words. Word denoting action is verb. So this together is the verb So one way of understanding sentence is using action words. So verbs, one way of understanding verb is word denoting action is a verb. And according to what I said earlier, suppose this sentence, students do not play. Suppose you want to make this sentence negative. Students play football. This play is a word with no head. Usually what happens is that first subject, after the subject, you have a helping verb plus not not plus main verb. According to the helping verb, main verb will come plus other words. This is how you can make a sentence negative. Because in ordinary conversation, not really ordinary, in language, you have only three types of sentences primarily that we make. One is affirmative, next one is negative, third is question. These are the only three ways primarily we are making sentences. So if you have got a sentence in the negative to be constructed, after the helping verb, you add not. And there are two cases when helping verb is not in simple present and simple past, you get sentence like this with no helping verb. In all the other tense forms, except I'll be coming to tense, simple present and simple past. Except these two, in all the other tense forms, we have a helping verb. Whereas in simple present and simple past, no helping verb, as it is over here. Either students play football every day or the students played football yesterday. So in both the case, here also there is no helping verb, here also no helping verb. Otherwise, in whichever tense form you make sentence, there will be a helping verb. So after that helping verb, you add not, sentence will become negative. But in these two cases, what you do is that you go in this manner. Suppose it is play, or it is plays, or it is played. Three forms are there. Simple present, plural subject, simple present singular subject, which we will be doing later. But now understand, when in this form the verb comes, your subject will be there, plus the verb form comes in this manner. If in this form, when it comes, you split this one into do plus play. This is how you can make it negative for question. This is how you can extract the helping verb out. So it can become they did not wait. So after the splitting, do, does, did comes over here, only the base form will be coming over here. You cannot say here played, so it will not be playing. Always play, only base form. They did not wait for the train. So did came, therefore wait. Now sentence is negative. If it is in this case, you are splitting this one into place. S is there, singular subject, present tense. So it will become does plus play. Now it became, you got the helping verb in it. So it will become he does not wait for his parents' permission. Here does came because subject here, what you can call subject is singular, but here subject is sorry, here I made a mistake. Did, now we are actually with the do. 1 minute. They do not. He does not. Here actually it was do not. That's we are dealing with the present tense. And he does not wait for his parents' permission. So here singular subject, simple present tense. So it will do does. Now in the third one, all that you had to remember is played. Here is past tense. Your did is coming over here. So in this, to make this one negative, you make did plus play. So you have whether singular or plural does not matter. He did not. He did not wait for the train. Okay, so in this manner, you are splitting the verb in simple present tense and simple past tense to make sentences negative or questions. This is one important area. Very often people don't bother about it. Not that they don't know, but they don't bother about it. But these are the small, minor things, we need to keep in mind while making sentences, while speaking, while writing, in whatever be the type of communication that we have. They don't follow all these rules, but these are all the situations when the beauty of the language can be maintained in this manner. This is one thing. Second, that's how you are actually splitting verb in simple present tense, simple past tense to make sentences negative or question. In all the other sentence forms, or rather tense forms, we have a helping verb. Use the same helping verb. So next thing, so this is one thing regarding the use of helping verbs that will make it constructive sentences denoting action. That's all what we had been waiting. Word denoting action is verb. Next one is word denoting state or condition is also verb. When we speak of verb, verb is a word that denotes state or condition. Example, let's say they are very happy, or he is very tall. In this manner, when we make sentence, we are talking about the state or condition of the subject. Okay, we are speaking about the state or condition of the subject. That means what we are doing over here is, first there would be the subject plus is be form that we use it. We can use it in short, be form plus other words. So here it's coming as the base. This is the main verb. Be form means it will be like is, are, was, were, or. Models plus be. This is what you can use, you use as be form. So they will be there. Okay, so or they are. I am happy. They are very angry now. In this manner, whenever we make it, this is a word denoting state or condition. This is another form of verb that we have. Okay, this is a form of verb that we have. So this is a second way of identifying verbs. Third form of identifying the verb is after the subject. That is actually state or condition. The third way of form of identifying the verb is word denoting. Verb is a word that denotes possession or ownership. Here we make sentence like this. After the subject, we have has, have, this past tense is had, only this one, plus other words. You have to understand, earlier we saw they had spoken, etc. Now this is main verb, this is helping verb, this will not come in this category. This is a word denoting action. But if I make a sentence in this manner, for example, they have a very good nature or behavior. So this is what they possess. Or my neighbor has the latest Audi. So if you put it this one, what is there in the possession? In this manner, to show possession ownership, we use this way the verbs. That's all the use of what you can call making sentences negatives and questions. Sorry, in possession. So this is how you have to identify the verb. Word denoting action, word denoting possession, word denoting state or condition are the three ways you can understand verbs. I suppose understanding of the verb and the role of the helping verb and the changes that should be taking place in the main verb according to the changes in the helping verb, all that is actually clear to all of you, I suppose. Now the next one is tense, is actually another thing that we have to enter into, that is tense. First, let's understand what is tense. So once you are clear with the verb, to identify verb in this manner, the next step that we can go further is tense, because tense is very, very important part, because most of the sentences that we make are based upon verb is the most important word, means tense is equally important. If you correlate something, I think the importance of tense is something like the importance of multiplication table in mathematics. The importance of tense in English is something like the how much useful or how much required is multiplication table in maths. Like that, we are using tense. Tense is very important. Without having proper knowledge of tense, you will not be able to make correct sentences. Before we go into that one, what is tense? That's the next thing that you have to understand. What is tense? So tense meaning the systematic way of expressing the actual timing of an action action by carefully chosen words. This is what you can understand as tense. The systematic way of expressing the actual timing of an action by carefully chosen words. Now, what are these carefully chosen words? These carefully chosen words are the helping verb plus main verb. According to the helping verb, the main verb to be used. That is what the carefully chosen words. So for that, which helping verb to be used when? That it means tense. Second, when this type of helping verb is used, what change will take place in the main verb? Second to be noticed. So according to the tense, you have to choose the helping verb. According to the helping verb, you have to choose the main verb. Take for example, simple present tense. Because tense, when we speak of, there are, what you can understand is, you have got actually 3 tense forms are there. One is present, the other is past, and the other one is future. Like this, three tense forms are there. Now, each of these has got a a simple form. These are the aspects of each tense. There's a simple form, there's a continuous form, there is a perfect form, and there is a perfect continuous form. Like this, each of these tense will be having, for example, present, there will be what we can call a simple present form, present continuous form, present perfect form, and present perfect continuous form. Like this, four aspects are there. In the same manner, there is also what you may call past, simple past would be there, past continuous is there, past perfect would be there, and past perfect continuous would be there. Similarly, there is what you may call future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. In this manner, each tense has got four aspects. There are 12 tense forms are there. Each tense form has got its own particular usage, its own particular rule, its own particular helping verbs. And when we match all this according to the situation, what form can be used, that is the most important thing as far as the helping verbs are concerned. And here is the importance of helping verb is coming, main verb is coming. Okay, so this is what now we are going to study next, tense and its aspects. So each tense, so for example, suppose we are taking simple present and then present. So what happens is that once we understand the simple present, for example, it may be speak. So if you want to make it into simple past, you change this speak into spoke. No other change is there. To make it negative, here you are using did plus speak. To make it negative, here you are using speak, does or do plus speak. Do or does as a helping verb. So all the changes only this way. For example, I speak, he spoke, or I speak, you speak. So like this, what happens is that helping verb and main verb should be matching accordingly. So that's what we are going to do next. Nothing more to get confused. Just to use the past tense form of the main verb, it became simple past from simple present. Same thing, suppose in continuous, present continuous, you are using is plus ing of the verb. Change this one into was or were, are. So are will become were, is will become was. In this manner, only the helping verb is getting changed when you change from present continuous into past continuous, or present perfect into past perfect. Suppose you are using has spoken. This has will be changed into had. He has spoken, he had spoken. No other change would be there. But the use is different. When to use it is more important. Technically, changing from one form into another is not that much difficult. But when to use it, that is more important. For example, when do we use present simple? When do you use continuous? All that is actually part of it. I just would like to share another screen with you for this purpose. Yes. Here it is. Just look at the structure of the sentence over here. Like this, all the tense have got its own structure, which is very clearly explained over here. But I don't have time right now to go further into it. the allotted time, just 1 minute only is remaining. So just look at the structure. Here it is. Present tense, simple present tense. In simple present tense, we have first for positive form, subject, then base form plus s or es. This is what where we did the do or does earlier, plus other words. Subject plus, to make the sentence negative, this is the structure that we follow. Do or does plus not plus base form. To make it a question, all that we do is that this helping verb is placed before the subject, it became question. Okay, this helping verb is placed before the subject, it will become a question. So use do or does to make sentences negative and question. So this is what something you need to understand in simple present, base form plus s. For example, look at it. Children love a lot of chocolates. Love is the verb. But if it had been the child, it will become loves. S is added. That is, when subject is singular, in simple present tense, s or es to be added with the verb. And when s or es is added with the verb, to make it negative or question, we use does. So that's all in case of structure of positive sentences. After subject, base form of the verb with s or es, depending upon if the subject is singular. If the subject is plural, don't put it. That is, children love a lot of chocolates. Child loves chocolate. If you want to make it negative, we have already discussed earlier, base form plus s or es is there, then does will come, that you are splitting the verb love. You're splitting it into do plus love or loves. S is there. So you're splitting it into does plus love. In this manner, you can get the helping verb out, and that helping verb. So what happens is that we automatically, those who know, automatically we just know, okay, is to be used. But we practice with the reason why. That's what is, once you know the why and the how in grammar, then I don't think grammar is going to be a difficult thing for you. To make it a question, the helping verb is placed before the subject, it will become a question. Now, like this, tense form is actually, we will require another day for our practice. The whole tense forms are there, how the structure should be used. Here, for example, continuous tense. After the subject, is, am, are, plus ing of the verb is used. Now, if you want to make it negative or question, after this helping verb, you add a not, it will become negative, or put this helping verb before the subject, it will become question. But whatever it be, if is, am, are used. Am is used with I, is used with the singular subjects, are is used with the plurals, it will become verb. And the uses and everything is very clearly to be explained. It will take longer time than what. So I'm not going into that one right now. Instead, if another day would be there, I would be able to explain these things more to you. So.
Absolutely, sir. We would definitely have you again for another day, and we'll need to get all the extra knowledge that you want to give to us. We obviously will be so tied to whatever you were teaching us, the entire structuration of verbs and tenses, that definitely that curiosity has already come up, and we definitely would like to have you for another lecture. We'll make sure that we could schedule one with you, so
Yeah.
that the students who are there also can also get a better understanding, and that link doesn't break, which is the most
Because
important.
I know it's a very, very basic thing that I have done right now, very basic thing. As we learn more and more in the higher classes, they tend to ignore what had been taught in the lower classes.
Exactly.
And then they ignore these things, meaning they lose a lot of mark for, because language teachers, meaning they look at these very nitty-gritty of writing. The very basic things of grammar is always very important. Otherwise, we
Correct.
are not doing justice to our own language.
Correct.
So that's what I had been dealing with actually.
No, that is absolutely true. Even today, like while we are speaking, we might, speak with confidence, and the other person might not end up noticing that we have done some minute mistake grammatically in our sentences. Because as we grow up, with me also, so as we grow up, what happens is that we start working grammar with intuition. And
Yes,
generally, that intuition goes wrong because the kind of intuition we have is not really obligated to the kind of rules of grammar that work with us.
yes, exactly. Because they don't look for the grammar. So very often they look at the language only to get some mark and then finish it off. They don't look into the what you can call the real rules of the grammar, unless that much curiosity is there in the child to learn further and further, to acquire more knowledge on the whys and the hows in grammar. Only few students pursue that one.
Correct. And that's absolutely true. And we are so blessed to have teachers like you with us who can actually give us those, get into those minute details and give us all the in-depth knowledge that is required to make your bases correct. Because that is the necessity that we have right now to get our bases correct. Once
Correct.
we have the base right, the rest of the building can get its structure anyway.
Yeah.
And
So
we are so happy to have you on board with us. It's always a pleasure to have faculties like you give so much of attention to those minute details and work so hard to bring the best out of every student. Is there, if there, I'll request students if there's any question, please let me know in the chat section. So we'll ask sir. In the meantime that you are actually asking the question, I'll actually again quickly give you a glimpse of the Student Inc. application. Sir, if there are any worksheets that you would like to share with us, I'd really request you to provide us with those so that we could provide the same kind of teaching to the students or any worksheet
yeah,
that
I
you want to
have
provide.
I have any amount of worksheets and everything, which I can share it with you. Not right now, actually, I have to get them.
No, absolutely, that's okay.
So
So, as you correctly heard, students, sir will also be sharing the worksheets. तो आप लोग worksheets कहाँ पे ढूंढ सकते हैं? आप लोग जब October section में आएंगे तो जैसे यहाँ पे अभी यहाँ पे objective tests हैं. Similarly, यहाँ पे you will get different worksheets.
in
ये जो
fact,
English के courses हैं, यहाँ पे भी आप different courses और worksheets available हो सकती हैं. अगर आपके पास reward points हैं, तो ये आपको एक्चुअली फ्री में ही मिल जाएंगे बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स आप उन्हें रिवॉर्ड पॉइंट से परचेज कर सकते हैं अदरवाइज हमारे पास थोड़े एक्सपर्ट प्रोफेशनल्स के थ्रू क्रिएटेड कोर्सेज भी हैं जो थोड़े से प्राइजी हैं सो अगर आपको वो लेने हैं तो यू कैन गो फॉर दैट पीस ऑल्सो मगर मेक श्योर दैट यू हैव द फ्री मटीरियल एज वेल तो अगर आपको पेड मटीरियल नहीं चाहिए तो आप एटलीस्ट फ्री मटीरियल का यूटिलाइजेशन करिए जैसे सर हमारे साथ है उनका खुद का एक इंस्टीट्यूट है जहाँ पे वो पढ़ाते हैं एंड वाया स्टूडेंट इंक एक ऐसे एमिनेंट फैकल्टी जो इतने वेल नोन है अपने एरिया में आपको आके अपने साथ अपना नॉलेज शेयर कर रहे हैं सो वी शुड ऑल ट्राई टू मेक द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ दैट नॉलेज राइट यहाँ पे भी आपके पास बहुत सारे डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज हैं जिनके अंदर आप जा सकते हैं आप एक्चुअली अपना नॉलेज शेयर कर सकते हैं आपके कोई भी क्वेश्चंस हैं तो सकते हैं प्लस यहाँ पे इतना सारा मटेरियल है जिसे आप यूटिलाइज करके अपने आप और शार्प बना सकते हैं so make sure that you end up downloading the Student Inc. application. आप एक्चुअली यहाँ पे भी हैव द सर्च बार जहाँ पे जाके आप फैकल्टी का नाम हमारा नाम सर्च करके हमारे साथ कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं यू कैन आस्क अस डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस इन द चैट सेक्शन राइट सो ऑल ऑफ दैट कैन बी डन so let's make sure that we have the application downloaded if there is any question students please ask me I don't see any question in the comment section right now. अगर आपको कोई भी क्वेश्चन है तो आप प्लीज मुझसे पूछिए हम सर के थ्रू आपका वो क्वेश्चन आंसर करने का जरूर कोशिश करेंगे आई थिंक दैट सर आपने जो भी एक्सप्लेन करा है वो इतना क्लियरली एक्सप्लेन करा है कि बच्चों को एक्चुअली कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है which is I guess the biggest respect that a student can give that they really don't have any questions to ask you.
hope it is not the other way around.
Yeah,
I not
it should
understand.
not be the other way around actually.
Yes,
We
yes,
will actually think in the positive direction
yeah,
as
yeah,
of now.
exactly. No, from a point of what you can call as an instructor, I should be looking both because
Exactly, that is true.
usually in the
If there
classrooms
is
we find
any
both.
question that actually comes out to us, we'll make sure that we pass it on to you and we can
Sure,
have that thing
sure,
sorted
sure,
out
always you
from your
can.
end as well.
And
Thank
regarding the materials, you see, myself have compiled all the previous board papers of the CBSE. It's coming to something about more than 300, 400 pages or something. of 10th standard, 12th standard, 9th standard. Okay,
Okay.
like that, abundant, a lot, any amount of materials are there for CBSE as well. And other than Gujarat board, where I am particularly associated with. So all these materials are there plenty. There's nothing wrong with that one. But that's not
Done.
for
Perfect,
practice.
sir. Amazing. So if possible, we'll actually बच्चा party we'll try to get certain material from sir ताकि वो आपको भी help कर सके और अभी exams आ रहे हैं so सबको prep up होना ही है exams के लिए right. So let's make sure that we study, share these links with people, download the application, utilize all the free stuff that is there, even certain amount of paid stuff which is not very high, so you can actually go and use that also. Anyway, get coming back here. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence with us. It's always a pleasure to have you on, and the kind of teaching that you provide us is amazing. So I'm really out of words for that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll see you all tomorrow. Till then, please take care and have a very